Hi everyone, welcome to NextGenAI podcast. This is Ashwin speaking, and my guest today is Adrian from Cashwise.
Hi there, Ashwin. How are
Nice to
you?
meet you, Adrian. Thanks for joining us today. So, can you tell us a bit more about yourself?
Yes, I'm actually originally from Hong Kong, but a Canadian, and recently moved to Singapore about 2 years ago. We started a company recently called Cashwise, and we're helping businesses manage their cash and treasuries as well.
This sounds very interesting, actually. I think a lot of businesses should really consider this concept. So, how does it actually work? From my understanding, from reading through your website and as looking at the journalistic point of view of it, it's an automated system. It's automated cash management system.
Absolutely. The biggest challenge for most businesses is actually calculating how much cash they really have at the end of the day. Every day you have various transactions happening, revenue coming in and out, expenses, things that you expect to be paid, may be paid late, may be paid partial. So the automation that we have automatically monitors the account. We determine what is available in the account. We also scan forward in your expected spending and make decisions on how to move the cash. So what we do with the cash is basically move it into an investment like a money market to help extract the maximum return for the business.
So, for the viewers who are not familiar, what would be the job description of the person that would be normally managing this in a business and in a company?
Right. The normal people that we deal with directly would either be the directors, the finance manager, CFO. In different companies, different sizes, it will be different personalities, but typically the head of finance would be our
Head of
person.
finance. Right, got it. Now, could you just tell us a bit more? What's the idea and so let me look at it this way: the crystalline idea of how did you come up with Cashwise in the first place? How did it start?
Sure. The reality of most business, and actually we know from experience from previous businesses that I ran, every business is very focused on customer, on product, on delivery. The last priority is actually finance. So what happens is in finance, they everyone focus on making a payable, collecting revenue, all these little small tasks. But actually, what happens in the end is once you do all that, there's money left over. It's already the end of the day, and then nothing happens. So what we design Cashwise to do is to proactively identify these things, know that it's coming, and actually take actions to move the money to where it needs to be. So when it's sitting idle, it's automatically moved out to the money market or investments. And before you need to make a payment, it's actually moved back into the account. So to you, it's transparent, but the system is running for you always in the background.
So that would be considered the automated side of it. So,
Exactly.
who set the parameters?
Customer decides all of the parameters. And the way we work is every single account the customer has, they set individual parameters.
Okay, that's very interesting. So, in essence, a company's revenue that is saved up, is let's say excess cash. So for businesses looking into trying to figure out how this works, it's automated cash management investment system. Is that correct?
Essentially, yes. So
But set by user parameters.
that's right.
So that's important for people to know. So look, the money is safe. You're taking the money, you're putting it there. It's automating it for you. That's basically what it is. So the kind of movement, what kind of markets are we looking at? Kind of investments that
Right.
you can move it to.
Yeah.
For
So
example, your partners, your this.
that's right. Systems work today with Air Wallets. They work with Wise on the payment side. We also integrate with Safe, which is a robo advisor here
Yes.
in Singapore. And basically, all assets that Safe has is available to our customers. Most of them will stay on the safe side and very conservative with money markets primarily.
So what are the customers that you would think businesses in general? What type of customers and businesses would benefit from Cashwise?
I think the most benefit are coming to customers, obviously, that do have cash. They are sitting on, I guess they're profitable and they're generating additional cash. They haven't distributed back to shareholders,
Right.
and they may be planning some expansions down the road. So they're actually building their reserve. So these are the ideal scenarios. I can talk maybe a little bit about an example customer.
So in this case scenario,
Mhm.
we are looking at the tuition center that would have had, let's just say, maybe 30, 40,000 in the end of the month.
Mhm.
But maybe they started off with hypothetically 100,000.
Mhm.
And what you're saying is that you could take quite a bit of that quantum
Right.
and make it 130,000.
Yeah, not turn it into 130, but
But
we can basically what the typical investment would be at the end of the month would have been 30,000,
yes, so we look
40,000.
at the 30,000 and it's about 130%
Right.
of that 30,000.
Yeah, so we can take the interest that's earned from that 30 or
Mm.
40, but we can actually invest almost 100,000 right away. And
Yes.
over time, slowly it will decline. So that way we
That's
generate
possible as
a
well.
lot more.
Okay.
And at the same time, I would say something to keep in mind is as they receive revenue. So
Right.
sometimes revenue is received late.
No real timelines.
Yeah, so as it's being received and our system is calculating constantly, as soon as it's received, you need this money, and instantly we move it out as well. So it
That's
doesn't
pretty good.
require a person to constantly think about what to do because we're always doing that for them.
That sounds very, very convenient. I think a lot of businesses would be very happy to hear that. So tell us a bit more about you and your partner as well. If I remember, this is a partner as well. For Cashwise.
Sure. We started the company through venture capital investment from a local VC called Antler. So I met my co-founder Masa there. He's from Japan.
Mm.
Prior to this, he spent 10 years running his own business, also in the B2B software space. And he recently sold his company and decided he wanted to start over again in Singapore.
Right.
So we met at that program, kind of gelled on the common problem of businesses don't have time or resource or knowledge to manage their finances well. And that's where we set off to start building Cashwise.
That's a very interesting startup way. So it was you guys spotted a gap or a kind of a hole that needed to be filled up. So that's basically it's a business gap. It's a business convenience gap. It's for the audience listening. It's more like a business convenience gap because it can be very overloading for a SME, mid to small business to try and manage cash flow, especially when it comes to investments. And if it's CFO, a lot of them don't even have CFOs.
Right. As
I
a matter
think you
of
can
fact,
explain this better for the audience to understand a bit more about
exactly.
what you actually face.